Quin Snyder, the head coach for the Jazz, but pull out your mobile device. Who is going to win Game 4? Will the Jazz win Game 4? Let it be known.
You know, whether it was dictated at times by foul trouble, but certainly in the second half, we felt like, you know, playing Eric would give us an opportunity to open up the floor. And I think offensively we had a really good burst at that point where we were able to get to the rim. You know, and then the beginning of the game, you know, Kleber and Green, you know, maybe one of Green's was uncontested, but I thought those threes were a blow to us, and I thought we did a good job, frankly, of kind of recovering and hanging in there and grinding to the point where when we did get into the third quarter, we were able to, you know, to really cut into the lead and compete. So I was happy with that. You know, as far as some of the other substitutions, you know, when they started hitting Donovan, we put more shooting in. You know, obviously Eric had played 8 or 9 straight minutes and gave him a blow with Rudy and then went back again with Eric. So you're just trying to find combinations that are going to complement one another. And, you know, in the end, we still got to, you know, be able to contain the ball. You know, when the ball gets in the paint, that creates problems for us because, you know, coming over to help, and obviously they're kicking it out, and I thought we did a better job of that as well.
In the second half, you guys held them to 5 3-pointers. They made 30
right.
In the first half. What did you see in terms of adjustments from your team?
Yeah, well,
contain them a little more on the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, we basically tried to put more of an onus on just switching everything and trying to pack the paint and keep the ball out of the paint. And you know, I think to your point, that did limit the threes. And then, you know, it's at some point then they get the rim. But you know, I thought that was a significant thing for us. And you know, we did that when we were just switching 1 through 5, you know, in pick and roll. But eventually, you know, they go away from pick and roll, and you just face straight isolation as well. And then we just got to shift and try to contain the ball. And you know, if we do have a situation where a guy needs to help, try to rotate to a shooter if that's the case.
What can you do in Game 4 to improve on the point of attack defense? And you know, what are some of the schematic things that you guys can do?
Yeah.
At the ball and, you know, first and second pass.
Defensively, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, some of it is we have to not, if we're going to get beat, we have to not get beat middle where the ball's going back, because it's, you know, it's virtually impossible to help and get in any kind of a rotation if the ball's coming back to the middle of the floor, because we're helping from the strong side. So, you know, obviously it'd be great to be able to contain everything. That's not going to be the case. So if we can keep the ball from, you know, from getting middle or having a direct line drive, that's helpful. And there's a few other things that we can look at that we've, you know, considered and thought about, and we'll look to do to adjust to help us, you know, help us cover it better. But, you know, again, I thought, you know, the fact that, you know, you mentioned it, that we gave up less threes in the second half was good. I mean, again, you know, some of the threes in the first half were not open looks the way they were the other night. They were quick catch and shoots over contested hand, and you know. But that said, you know, if they get them off, they have a chance to go in, and if we can limit the number of them, you know, that's something that we want to try to do.
Why is Brunson giving you guys so many problems?
I think he's unique in his physical strength and his ability to kind of keep his dribble alive in the lane, you know, where he really uses his body, and you know, he's able to play with his feet on the floor. So if you do come over and try to help, he has the ability to find people and spray the ball out. You know, he's a good player.
What did they do to limit your guys' advantage on the rebounds that you've had in the first 2 games?
You know, well, part of it was, you know, we didn't play both our bigs for the amount of time. That's when, you know, Hassan did a good job when he Spend a lot of energy, to cut a lead and to get to the point where you were. And as you said, we didn't, couldn't get a couple things to fall that may have, given us another lift, taking the lead. But it really wasn't anything different than the course of the game where, guys were driving the ball and we were trying to make plays and keep them off the rim and contest the shot. They hit a few, there was one time Rudy switched on to Brunson and got him to take a 15-footer contested over, 7-1, and he made it. But our margin for error was pretty small at that point. So.